Hello and welcome to Women's World, the program where we spotlight the strength and resilience of women shaping our society. I am Kike Lomo Okeri, and alongside my ever vibrant co-hosts Priscilla Obasi and Anita Patrick.
Hello, Kike.
Amazing week, amazing weekend approaching, everything amazing.
You know,
it's actually a beautiful one because this is March, it's the month for the women, and women are actually doing very well. So far, so good. I've seen a lot of things to speak to issues that they've had so much bottled up. It's the period for we to speak about the issues from education, from the home front to career paths. It's a lot happening, and I'm excited that I'm a woman.
I'm excited that I'm a mother. Fortunately, Sunday is Mothering Sunday. Wow.
Yeah.
So what are you expecting? Because mothers are expectant.
You know, for me, it's how people always say, we have so many celebrations in the month of March. Women's Day, just from International Women's Day, Women's Day. Well, I mean, a woman cannot be over celebrated because a woman
she gives herself.
Gives herself.
That's true.
One over celebrating. So Monday is Mother's Day, and I'm thinking the International Women's Day came with lots of colors.
True.
Women coming out to speak, as she has said. People, it showed growth for me.
Women gives a lot.
Yes, women have gone from that point where it's expected that you're in the kitchen to be part of the society.
Exactly.
I mean, making significant contribution to the society. We're talking about Mother's Day, and I mean,
there's a whole lot to expect.
There's a whole lot to expect for mothers. So if you see a mother close to you, if you're watching this and you have a mother, make sure you call her, give her a hug, say something nice. Because
you know the hug goes a long way.
Yes, it goes a long way.
With solving lots.
Yeah, today we turn our focus to a powerful force that is often overlooked but absolutely essential to Nigeria's growth: women's farming. Across Nigeria, women make up a significant position of the agricultural workforce, from planting and harvesting to processing and selling produce in local markets. Women are deeply involved at every stage of food production, yet their vital role many still faces barriers such as limited access to land, financing, modern tools, training, and markets.
Okay, so we're talking about empowering women, right?
Yeah.
Empowering women farmers, unlocking Nigeria's agricultural potential. Now, when women farmers are supported with the right resources, with the right education and opportunities, the benefit extends far beyond the farms. Communities become more secure, food secure actually, and local communities grow stronger and families thrive.
True, of course, Priscilla. Empowering women in agriculture means recognizing their contributions, investing in their skills, and ensuring they have equal access to the tools needed to succeed. It means creating policies and programs that open door for women to lead, innovate, and expand within the agricultural sector.
All right. Of course, in today's conversation, we explore how supporting women farming can transform Nigeria's agricultural landscape, boost productivity, and drive sustainable development across the nation. Stay with us as we discuss the challenges, opportunities, and practical steps needed to fully unlock the potential of women in agriculture right after the break. For too long, women were told to stay quiet, to endure in silence, to face challenges alone. But silence never defines us.
Women are actually one of the best peace builders you can come across because they will build peace in the home front, they will build with their children, they will build in the community, they will build at their meetings and in their churches.
Across Nigeria and beyond, women are breaking barriers, from entrepreneurs building thriving businesses to mothers transforming communities to everyday women.
Women's World celebrates all sides of womanhood. We share untold stories of women from pain to victory.
This is more than a show, it is a platform for women to be seen, heard, and to be empowered.
Every story matters, every voice counts, because women are empowered to change families, communities, and the nation.
Join us as we showcase women's untold stories.
From pain to victory.
This is Women's World on Global Television.
Your story, your health, your power. For too long, women were told to stay quiet, to endure in silence, to face challenges alone. But silence never define us.
Women are actually one of the best peace builders you can come across because they will build peace in the home front, they will build with their children, they will build in the community, they will build at their meetings and in their churches.
Across Nigeria and beyond, women are breaking barriers, from entrepreneurs building thriving businesses to mothers transforming communities to everyday women.
Women's World celebrates all sides of womanhood. We share untold stories of women from pain to victory.
This is more than a show, it is a platform for women to be seen, heard, and to be empowered.
Every story matters. Every voice counts because women are empowered to change families, communities, and the nation.
Join us as we showcase women's untold stories.
From pain to victory.
This is Women's World on Global Television.
Your story, your health, your power. For too long, women were told to stay quiet, to endure in silence, to face challenges alone. But silence never define us.
Women are actually one of the best peace builders you can come across because they will build peace in the home front, they will build with their children, they will build in the community, they will build at their meetings and in their churches.
Across Nigeria and beyond, women are breaking barriers, from entrepreneurs building thriving businesses to mothers transforming communities to everyday women.
Women's World celebrates all sides of womanhood. We share untold stories of women from pain to victory.
This is more than a show, it is a platform for women to be seen, heard, and to be empowered.
Every story matters. Every voice counts because women are empowered to change families, communities, and the nation.
Join us as we showcase women's untold stories.
From pain to victory.
This is Women's World on Global Television.
Your story, your health, your power. For too long, women were told to stay quiet, to endure in silence, to face challenges alone. But silence never define us.
Women are actually one of the best peace builders you can come across because they will build peace in the home front, they will build with their children, they will build in the community, they will build at their meetings and in their churches.
Across Nigeria and beyond, women are breaking barriers, from entrepreneurs building thriving businesses to mothers transforming communities to everyday women.
Women's World celebrates all sides of womanhood. We share untold stories of women from pain to victory.
This is more than a show, it is a platform for women to be seen, heard, and to be empowered.
Every story matters. Every voice counts because women are empowered to change families, communities, and the nation.
Join us as we showcase women's untold stories.
From pain to victory.
This is Women's World on Global Television.
Your story, your health, your power.
It's good to have you back on Women's World. If you're just joining us, we've been discussing, we're rather looking at empowering women farmers, unlocking Nigeria's agricultural potential and the critical role women play in strengthening food security, improving livelihoods and driving sustainable agricultural development across the country. Women remain the backbone of agriculture in many communities, yet their contributions are often under-recognized and under-supported, from the access to land and the funding to training and modern farming technologies. Empowering women farmers is key to unlocking the full potential of Nigeria's agricultural sector. To help us explore this important conversation further, we are joined by a distinguished guest who has dedicated years to advancing women's development, communication, and sustainable growth. We're pleased to welcome in our midst Dr. Limota Goroso Giwa, the Executive Director of the International Women Communication Center and Deputy Director at the Sustainable Development Center, University of Abuja. She brings us a wealth of experience in gender advocacy, development, communication, and sustainable development initiatives, particularly in empowering women and promoting inclusive growth. Thank you so much. It's good to have you join us on the program today.
You're welcome, Dr. Limota.
Thank you so much.
Amazing criteria, or I call it full profile there.
Yeah.
You seem to have it across all fields and all walks of life. We've seen your work and want to say Happy International Women's Month to you. We see the work you're doing.
And Happy Mother's Day in advance.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you.
It's good to have you.
Thank you.
So let's kickstart on this particular note and talk about the role women doing or partake in agriculture. Well, women play a major role in the agricultural sector, which we see from farming. From your perspective, how significant would you say their contribution of women farmers is to the country's food security and economic development thus far?
Thank you so much. First of all, I want to start with the issue of what is hunger. No food, there's hunger. No land, no food. No food, no zero hunger. So that is the campaign we are launching in line with SDG Goal 2.
Amazing.
SDG Goal 1 is about eradication of poverty. And you cannot eradicate, you can alleviate poverty. So inside Goal 1, which is zero hunger, leading to Goal 2, is talking about how do we have food on the table for every citizen of the world, according to the United Nations Declaration on SDG Goal 2. It's asking us, how do we put food on the table?
Okay.
And when you look at the issue of putting food on the table, first of all, the home front, it is the women. In many societies in Nigeria, women do not have access to land. They cannot farm. And then when you are talking of Sustainable Development Goal 2, zero hunger, you are talking of accessibility to food, durability, and inclusiveness. And when you are talking of inclusiveness, you are talking of putting women in the agenda of a nation in terms of food production.
Okay.
This leads to how do we now empower the women to have access to this food. First, you make land accessible for women.
Okay.
You give them resources in terms of take-off grants for smallholder farmers. 3, you subsidize farming tools. Example, buying fertilizer is out of the reach of women, even to ordinary farmers. Farming tools, pesticides, women cannot get to buy. And then another thing is that when Nigerian farm, the cost of farming is very expensive. And when they import food to Nigeria, it derelegates the farming ability of the citizen.
Okay.
So if you look at it, we need to invest more in farming. Nigeria has no business in hunger because we have the population.
Okay.
We have the land. There are many countries in the world that nothing can germinate in their soil. And they are rich countries. And that is why UN insisted that Goal 2 is very important. Therefore, in order to be able to empower women farmers, you have to first of all give them facility, accessibility to resources, and inclusiveness in terms of policy formulation and implementation. For example, during the last meeting, stakeholder engagement in the Ministry of Agric,
yes,
the minister rolled out lots of activities that they have done.
Yes.
Very brilliant presentation. And asked about how do you translate this performance of your ministry to ordinary Nigeria to be able to have food on the table.
True.
Yes, the ministry is doing well. But how do you bring out science and indicator, we call it indices, to measure the ability of your input, impact in ordinary Nigeria? Because people are hungry, food are expensive, and Minister of Agric are working. So these are 3 phenomenology on the ground. But the question that is applicable to us as Nigeria is how will these your brilliant programs and activities reach the grassroots level? How will ordinary Nigeria wake up in the morning and be able to buy food or to be able to put food on the table? This is what I mean by policy. A policy that does not translate the life of every Nigerian is not working.
Okay.
So I requested the minister that they can set up a committee to begin to look at their success stories in terms of women participation. The women farmers do not have access to land. They do not have resources. They do not have money. So the way to build their capacity and empower them is to organize training, capacity building training, TOT. TOT means training of trainers for smallholder farmers. And then after the training, give them inputs, tools to go back home and practice in their communities. Then set up another monitoring team to be sure this is working. Because sometimes you give contract to people, they don't do it. They don't do it. And nobody's monitoring them. They think it's a Commonwealth resources. They get away with it. And no leader, everybody blame leaders, not just Tinubu. They blame but we as Nigerians, are we trying to help each other? You are giving contract to produce farm inputs for the communities, you are investing the money. It does not get to the people. Because when the minister was reading, he was giving evidence-based. He was giving evidence-based approach where and what they have done.
So far.
But the question is, who is monitoring what they have done?
Okay, the thing is, despite different interventions and contribution, many women's farmers still faces several barriers. What are some biggest challenges that is limiting women full participation and productivity in agriculture?
Yes, let me give you an example. The limitation. They run the Anchor program. Many women were giving money, like NISA, they call it NISA, Anchor program.
Yes.
That is a brilliant program. but it died in natural death.
It did die.
Because of
Yes,
corruption.
of course.
Many women were already involved in that program, and they borrow money. They started with them with 250, 1 million, 10 million.
Yes, and they improved.
And they took this loan. COVID came. After COVID, there was banditry, insecurity everywhere. So then after that, the women cannot pay back the loan. So how do we help them? Is to give them palliative and try to see which area they can help them to survive the calamity, the disaster that has hindered their performance on the field. Also, the ministry should hold meeting with women farmers. Invite them to your gathering. Then do training of trainer for them. And you see, capacity building is very important. Along with money, we call it take-off grant. And then you have a monitoring team to say that it's also place in Nigeria we have bettered the life of 10 million people. Here, 5 million people, and this is the input and this is the output. So those are the indices and indicators that the government should be looking for.
Okay, so there's a smallholder farmers group for women called SOFON. SOFON has always been a way of managing women, young smallholder farmers.
Yes.
So I want to talk to you you're trying to look at the issue about the sustainable development goals set up for farmers. How do you see your role in building up this women's capacity? Because like you mentioned, governments have good reforms, agricultural reforms, they've rolled out their reforms and we've seen them doing well. But these smallholder farmers still have these challenges cut across different, but from financing, which is the take-off grants, which you're suggesting they get. So how would they get even if they give them take-off grants, want to monitor? Because one thing is implementation. That's one challenge we have. How do you get someone to supervise, implement them from your? I'm talking from your perspective as a woman, because we want to see women farmers do better despite barriers in front of them.
Yes, there are 3 important things that Nigerian government can do. 1, they should enter the markets.
Okay.
Go into the mainstream of the markets to subsidize prices of food. Instead of giving money to third party, fourth party to go and do it, let them go into the market and break the monopoly of market in terms of cash crops and perishable food for women. Then let them also have a reserve bank where women can go and take like a loan. A loan. Let take the loan, have a reserve bank where they can get the food. As we subsidize petrol, they can subsidize food for the poor masses. 2, I want the government to have a policy to say that maybe 2 times in a week, every Nigerian should go and farm. Remember in 1979, Operation Feed the Nation? Operation Feed Yourself. So let the present government launch Operation Feed Yourself. Obasanjo launched Operation Feed the Nation. Now let us launch Operation Feed Yourself. Have garden in your home, your compound, and then let the government go into the mainstream of the market economy and subsidize and break down the prices of goods and services. Then from there, women will be able to, for example, let me give you example. The vegetable woman seller, they need only 5,000 naira to start selling ewedu, okra in the market. You see their basket. If you value the basket, it's not more than 5,000 naira or 10,000 naira. And the woman will wake up in the morning, go to the village to go and look for ewedu to buy, and she's using just 5,000 naira as a take-off grant. Then also look at the issue of rice. How Nigeria break the monopoly of rice. During the Buhari regime, they planted encourage rice plantation. Yes, and they break. But the question now is, the cost of producing rice in Nigeria is very expensive. The climate is not sustainable.
I was about taking
climate change. And then there's a desert encroachment in the northeast. There's flooding in the southwest. And there's desert degradation in south-south in terms of oil pollution. So if you look at these 3 calamities, it gives room for the government to come into the intervention of food production in Nigeria. And the way to do it is to first of all empower the women, and then go into the mainstream of the market, put products in the market, surplus food in the market. It will break the monopoly of high price, because if you plant food or maize, you plant maize, I plant maize, you plant maize, I plant rice, you plant rice, it will be surplus.
True.
That's true.
Very, very much.
I remember when we were young, when we were going to school, we plugged maize on the streets. Everybody planted in their garden, in their home.
We had behind the house.
We just plugged maize on the road and fry it and eat. But it's not there now
anymore.
So the question is, what happened?
What went wrong, actually?
What went wrong? Thank you.
My question is for women that are intending or that want to be farmers. Sometimes this sensitization is not out there to the public. The works that you people have been doing, the Ministry of Agriculture, lots of women want to do stuff. They want to go into farming, but somehow the support is not there. And the truth of the matter is that there are hidden supports in the systems, but it's not well amplified, to the common man out there that is really interested. First of all, I want to know what are these, opportunities, so that any woman watching right now would know and maybe want to grab it.
Yes, what I'm getting from Ministry of Agriculture is that they have loan for women farmers. They have subsidized farming tools. They said they gave it out in different states.
They gave some farming
tools. Yes, and then
pesticide
and fertilizers. And they told us that because of the problem in Ukraine, it's affecting this importation of fertilizer importation also.
Yes.
But the question is, I want Nigeria and African countries to get out of expecting European communities to give them food.
So always come to
We're Africans. We are African. We are people with land and resources. We are supposed to be feeding European communities. We are supposed to be feeding other African countries as Nigerians. We have the population. We have a lot of people. Our population can override 5-6 countries. So let us use our population to produce food. Let us use our population to promote security. Let me tell you, when people say the problem of Nigeria is poverty, I say it's not poverty. The problem of Nigeria is insecurity. And it's not the banditry that I mean by insecurity. Insecurity at home. People feel insecure in their home in terms of putting food on the table. You will see a father running out in the morning. The children will not know where the father goes. And he will come late in the evening when the children have slept. Because he's feeling insecure. He could not provide food. So insecurity at home. Food insecurity everywhere. And the insecurity of like I used to classify it in my teaching. I said there are 6 classes of poverty. Poverty of hunger. Poverty of mindset, poverty of technical know-how, knowledge, poverty of cash, poverty of food, and poverty of clothes, and poverty of shelter. Which one do you want to address?
Which one do you want to do? Because we have a lot of them.
Which one do you want to address? Yes.
So but the basic thing everyone wants to look for is, like they say, if a man has a roof over his head, has food on his table, life is made easy, they can take one step at a time.
This is what ordinary Nigerians are asking
for. But like you said, the Ministry of Agriculture are setting out good reforms that is doing well, is just translating it for the common man to have access. And I was at the Ministry of Agriculture where we saw where they gave subsidized what's called farm inputs or whatever to help them move around. But the question here is, we have cultural and societal norms which sometimes limits women's access, which you've mentioned, like the land access and all that. How can communities begin to shift their perception and support women farmers who are the ones who till the soil, from behind the house to get food on the table, support the farm? Because one, you mentioned insecurity in different forms. Let's look at insecurity from the perspective of accessibility to the farmlands.
Yes, we did a research on women land rights. The project is called WILA. And the outcome of that research is that, for example, in Nigeria, according to the Land Use Act in Nigeria, 1979 Land Use Act, enable every Nigerian to have right to land.
True.
But when the husband died, the family takes away the land from the woman. They say it's a family land.
Property.
So the recommendation I want to give, because if I go into the history and the outcome of the research, it will take time.
Sure.
But I just want to bring out the recommendation from the research work. It's what we need for everybody to have an inclusive society, is to draw up policy and system strengthening. This will accommodate both men and women.
Okay.
For example, every Nigerian man and woman can buy land.
True.
If you have money. So we cannot inherit land in some place. Women cannot inherit land in some culture in Nigeria.
That's right.
Yes. They will say it's a family land. So what I want to encourage the government is to encourage group farming, institutional farming, family farming, and stakeholder farming. And I will explain this what by me. Group farming, as you are working in the television house,
Yes.
as a staff, you can buy land and decide to use it for farming.
Okay.
Also, family farming, the group as a family can buy land and get tenure, security, land tenure security title. Also, as an individual, you can buy land and farm. So in the issue of culture, it will be minimized in terms of access to land. Group farming, family farming, institutional farming. For example, I'm aware, I don't want to mention, some embassies in Nigeria, they bought to farm most of the land in Nigeria, and we don't know. They brought they brought people to farm for them, and they import the food directly to their country from here. Many embassies bought land in Nigeria, and they are farming, and the food from there goes straight to their country. So, and we are looking, instead of us to invest and have a 1 day break in a week for every Nigerian to go to the farm.
I think that's a new perspective.
Yes,
should be looking
let the government, let the president say, everybody 1 day in a week farm, either your garden, your home, day farming. By the time we do that, even if it is achieving goal 2, if Nigeria can work hard to achieve goal 2, they will be among nations that achieve SDG goal between 2030. We have 5 years now. And as a professor of sustainable development, when I teach my students, I tell them that, do you think the whole world will achieve sustainable development goal in the next 4 years? 2030 is very close. What are we doing about it? In the face of banditry, conflict, development work is going down. So the question is, let's take our destiny in our hand as Nigeria. Let the government, our president, launch 1 day off.
So we can meet up the standard of
everybody
Brazil.
should go and farm. And then give us the power to use any available land.
Okay.
Borrowed land. Yeah. We can do borrowed land. You can borrow land from family who have land. There are lots of land in Nigeria, but the government can borrow land for farming. You borrow from the family, from the community to encourage farming, and you launch 1 day off for every Nigerian to go to farm. Either in your home, in your garden, you must produce something. Operation Feed Yourself. Go home 1 day, maybe Monday or Wednesday in a week, is a day for farming in Nigeria. Honestly speaking, it will reduce hunger.
Okay. We look forward to when the government takes this recommendation and hopefully sees how that, because like I
have
said,
brilliant idea, but I don't have the power and the ability to implement it.
But things, we keep amplifying our voices and seeing how this. Thank you so much for what you do, Dr. Limot Agoroso-Giwade, for sharing such valuable insight with us today. Your perspectives on empowering women farmers and the critical role they play in strengthening Nigerians' agricultural sector have been truly enlightening.
Indeed, it has been a very engaging and informative conversation. We appreciate the important work you continue to do through the International Women's Communication Center and the Sustainable Development Center at the University of Abuja in promoting sustainable development and advancing opportunities for women.
And we hope that today's discussion has inspired more support, recognition and investment in women farming across the country. Empowering women in agriculture is not just about equality, it's about strengthening food security, boost the economy and building more resilient communities. When we return, Women's World continues with more conversation that celebrates and empowers women. Stay with us. For too long, women were told to stay quiet, to endure in silence, to face challenges alone. But silence never define us.
Women are actually one of the best peace builders you can come across because they will build peace in the home front, they will build with their children, they will build in the community, they will build at their meetings and in their churches.
Across Nigeria and beyond, women are breaking barriers. From entrepreneurs building thriving businesses to mothers transforming communities to everyday women.
Women's World celebrates all sides of womanhood. We share untold stories of women from pain to victory.
This is more than a show, it is a platform for women to be seen, heard, and to be empowered.
Every story matters. Every voice counts because women are empowered to change families, communities, and the nation.
Join us as we showcase women's untold stories.
From pain to victory.
This is Women's World on Global Television.
Your story, your health, your power. For too long, women were told to stay quiet, to endure in silence, to face challenges alone. But silence never define us.
Women are actually one of the best peace builders you can come across because they will build peace in the home front, they will build with their children, they will build in the community, they will build at their meetings and in their churches.
Across Nigeria and beyond, women are breaking barriers. From entrepreneurs building thriving businesses to mothers transforming communities to everyday women.
Women's World celebrates all sides of womanhood. We share untold stories of women from pain to victory.
This is more than a show, it is a platform for women to be seen, heard, and to be empowered.
Every story matters. Every voice counts because women are empowered to change families, communities, and the nation.
Join us as we showcase women's untold stories.
From pain to victory.
This is Women's World on Global Television.
Your story, your health, your power.
All right, welcome back to Women's World. Thank you so much for staying with us if you're just joining us for the program. Now we've been talking about, or we've been having wonderful conversations centered on women's empowerment and the many ways women continue to shape, strengthen our society. In this next segment, we turn our attention to another important aspect of women's development, and that is communication. Communication plays a powerful role in shaping narratives, influencing policies, and ensuring women's experiences, perspectives, and achievements are heard and recognized.
And of course, our next topic is amplifying women's voices, the role of communication in advancing gender equity. Around the world and here in Nigeria, effective communication has become a key tool in advocating for women's rights, promoting inclusion and challenging stereotypes that limit opportunities for women and girls.
And of course, from media platforms to community engagement, storytelling, and digital communication, amplifying women's voices help drive social change and encourages more women to participate actively in leadership, business, governance, and sector.
Well, to help us unpack this conversation, we are pleased to welcome our next guest live in the studio in person of Omawumi Dan Okaye, I beg your pardon, the branch manager of Enviable Transport Abuja and a seasoned communication professional. Well, she brings us a wealth of experience in communication, leadership, and organizational management, and she's live with us in the studio. Omawumi, it's good to have you join us today.
Thank you very much.
How does it feel to sit at the other end, because we're the ones speaking to you now?
It's still like you can see I'm just sitting down here. I'm trying to get comfortable. It feels different, actually. For real, it actually does feel different.
Because I
feel.
Thank you.
It's good to be back home.
It's good.
It's good to be back home.
It's good to have you here. Happy International Women's Month.
Same to you. You all look beautiful.
You look great. Amazing as well. So amazing thing you do out there, amplifying voices of women through your communication strength and all that. Like I said, it's good to have you joining because this is you coming back home. Let's start on the notes on how would you say communication has played a vital role for women, especially in our society today? Because we had a conversation the other day, we said women mask their emotions. So let's speak from that.
Yeah, I think it's actually taking a positive line because a lot of women now have a voice. Thanks to, even to as old as our mothers right now, you see a lot of them on TikTok. You see a lot of them on Facebook. Everybody right now has a platform to air their voice. Yeah. So every woman right now, except you don't want to be spoke or you don't want to be seen, is when you say, oh yes, I am just there in the hill, like in the shadows. But right now, every woman has an opportunity to air a voice. I think thanks to, yes, if you use the social media platform in a positive line, like you use your data, not just watching Netflix morning to night, use it to create a platform. You see, I think was it yesterday I was watching somewhere where one of this ministers was like, a lot of women right now are using it for their trauma. Not even women to men use it for their trauma. But this is somebody, before you keep everything inside. You're dying inside. You don't want to say something. You don't want to speak to the wrong person. But right now, even if there's nobody, you're not looking at anybody, you can switch on your camera, switch on your phone, and then you air it all out. So you see a lot of people crying on, it's like you just finish, you take a breath, like, and you're done, and like, okay,
and you take a deep breath.
I don't care who is seeing it, but at that moment I have sent out to a lot of people.
Okay, well that's why I started on that note. Priscilla, let's get to you.
Well, I like where Anu is coming from, and to think that it's a positive thing. A lot of us have also seen it as a negative. I mean, everybody says, stay away from social media, don't talk.
It's prone to abuse. Let's put it that way. Yes.
People have pushed every kind of narrative. You see people really trying to express themselves, especially women. And thankful for the social media platforms, but there are still some people out there that feels maybe there are people that abuse it. Do you even think there's anyone abusing it? Is there? Should we term? The
reason why I said abuse is because a lot of people actually use it also in a negative point.
Sure.
It's all about, you have a lot of influencers right now.
Yeah.
And to me, I'm like, what are you influencing? You have people who actually, like recently, a couple of times I had to do a declutter of people I follow on Instagram.
Very important.
I had to do that on Facebook as well. You don't have to follow everybody. When you're somebody who, let's say for example, you're timid, you're someone who you feel you're always shut up at every time, you can't air you feel there's a whole lot of buyers in the room and all that. All you need to do is pick strategic places to be or pick certain things to do. Like I said, yes, it has a negative impact because one, if you're not picking or following the right set of people, it's prone for you to get influenced by what you see.
That's true.
So if you're following the right set of people on Instagram or Facebook, even for meetings, it's not every room or every women empowerment program you should attend.
Do you think that there are strategic people that are still there to shut women up?
Oh, they are. Even women shut ourselves up. Let's be honest. That's the truth. Even women shut themselves up.
In your own experience, what are some of the communication barriers that women faces in leadership, in work environment,
business environment,
professional
bodies?
Contrary to what we think that the men are actually the problem, sometimes women are even the problem. Because in an office, for example, let's say you have let me come from my present situation right now. I think there are just 3 women in my office.
Okay.
And then you have more of the guys.
Okay.
I try as much as possible. Sometimes we will communicate. We're like, oh, you guys come and talk and all that. Where I was coming from, my boss was a female. And I think at a point it was a case of you could see the fact that you could see the bossiness. And then one day I said, I'm like, why is she like this? And I thought about it, like, women have this notion in their head that men will always want to shut them up. Exactly. When they feel you're a boss woman, you feel you're in charge, everybody feels like, oh,
but naturally it's like that.
And that's why I said even some women are. If, for example, you have maybe 2 people going for one role, and both of them are in a competition and all that, it seems like, oh, there are times you don't have to be each other's enemies. You could be working in the same office environment and not necessarily be at competition with each other. You could strengthen yourself. Look at the numbers of women you have in your office. Are they up to 10? Are they 5? Are they 15? If you have less than 10, less than 5, you both should not be at each other's competition. You should be at each other's mercy. be there for one another. If you have more than 10, then you look at, like I said, if your boss is somebody who you cannot relate with, your subordinate or your colleague should not be somebody who you also do not talk to. There should be somebody in the office that is your safe space to speak to. So in office spaces, in politics and all that, sometimes, yes, it's quite... women feel like, yes, I can't just come out because, oh, it's a male territory. But it takes one person to show people that, yes, we can do it.
Okay, so let me come to the media space. I like media, we're bold.
Yeah, we are.
We're bold, we know how to speak to issues. But for some persons who don't understand what it means to stand up for themselves. Because like you mentioned, women need to start supporting each other to build themselves. Because I've seen where some women tend to bring the other person down because there's competition.
Yeah.
And at this stage of our life, or at this stage of where the world is with women speaking out, I don't think women need to start dragging themselves down anymore. It's high time we speak the word around collaborations, strengthening and supporting ourselves. So let's speak to where you work in an environment that is male dominated. How do you tend to put yourself to be visible for them to see your strengths and what value you add through communicating?
So I think you get the right tools. Public speaking is something you also have. You have so many platforms out there. For somebody who is not the outspoken one, like you don't feel like, oh, you can be in a room, you can talk to people. There's several trainings you can do. Start from public speaking, start from getting the right mentor in that field. Start from getting people that you can relate with, people who can inspire you. And also when you come into an environment as a woman and you feel is a male-dominated area, sometimes all it takes for you to get the courage, you need that confidence in yourself to say that, yes. It's going to be hard initially, especially if you're somebody who you feel maybe your certification is not up to their level, or you think education-wise you've not gotten there, you're still coming up, you're still building yourself. There's a whole lot you can do to improve yourself. Don't limit yourself to the level you are. Every day, train yourself. If it's in the office, if you want to be a presenter, you want to do something, don't just sit down there every day. Look for research materials that you can use to develop yourself. If you see that there's some person ahead of you, maybe your boss or your colleague who is supposed to be in that position you're at, what makes that person different? How can I get to that point where that person is? So those are things that you need to do as a woman. A lot of people, like, I know it's not everybody that is into media that I say, oh yes, you can come out and talk to people. No, I'm too shy, I'm too this. All it takes for you is just one day, try. It might not go well, you might stutter, you might have people looking at you, you didn't pronounce my name right, you didn't do this, you didn't do that. Start from your local community. Be it attending a women's church event, be it, it could even be as much as becoming a Sunday school teacher. If you can handle children, you can handle everybody. You just sometimes it just takes for you to just train yourself in certain capacity.
I think it's, as women, we can get comfortable in male-dominated spaces, especially, because of the fact that there are roles, there are careers that has been, subconsciously assigned.
It's just for
so you feel like you get the support of your male friends or colleagues until you're supposed to go a step further. Maybe you're not seen as a competitor somehow.
Let's talk about engineering, for instance.
Maybe you're promoted. You're not supposed to lead them. Do you understand? And then you now realize, I thought I had friends here.
Not supposed to lead them.
You're the leader or you're the boss right now.
They see you like you're a woman. Why should a woman
you go from being a public relations officer, you go from being, the
director,
the communication strategist, to the boss of this man. And then the ball changes.
So how do you handle?
How do you handle it? Let me say, at that moment, you're going for war. That's the truth. You're going for war because the truth is, even in marriage, if you say a lady is succeeding and the man is probably just basic, it sees it as she's trying to be the boss of me. It takes a lot for a man to accept this woman's success. When you come to an environment like that and you see that, you have to understand the fact that right now it's all about work. Nobody's your friend anymore. You have to be true to yourself. You have to be realistic. At this moment, it's going to be hard it's like an African thing. It's going to be hard for a man to accept the fact that she's leading us. Even in politics, even in this, you see that happen.
That's true.
So what you have to tell yourself is, see, I have gotten here. you didn't do chua-chua, let me put it that way. You didn't do anything. You got there because of you have records to show
value addition
that I have gotten here and I deserve to be on this seat. You make them understand. See, one thing, the first time I got into my office, I called a meeting. I'm like, see, I know it's hard for people to understand that a woman is here to lead you. I'm not here to be anybody's boss. I'm not here to be anybody's oga or not. I'm very an open person. But at the same time, if I need to do my job and I need to be hard on somebody, I'm not your friend at that moment. I am your boss. So at that moment, it's even if somebody is like 50 years older than you, it doesn't take away the place of respect. It doesn't take away the place of, oh, I am in a community, I have people that are way older, that are older than me, some people are younger. You are still the boss. So everything you need to do at that moment is balance. In as much as you're trying to show them that, yes, I am Wonder Woman, I am this at the same time, you also have to understand emotional intelligence of how to handle them. If you come out as two bosses, when everybody says, women are demons, why do they make women this and all that? Then the whole communication continues. And that's because you have to remove that whole mindset of, I am a woman boss, I am in a male-dominated environment. It doesn't change nothing. You are deserving of that seat first before your gender. So even if it's in engineering, in communication, in transport, anywhere, once you're a director, make positive use of your office. Let them see. The truth is, by the time they see that, oh, this woman is doing her job and she's doing it diligently, you won't beg them for your respect.
Do you think in a way it affects, your carriage? When a woman breaks barriers, somehow there's this subconscious that says, I have done what nobody can do. Do you think
that's why I said that no matter what it is, you have to use your sense. Wisdom, even in the Bible, says it's profitable to direct. So you can't just be all because, right now I am here, come out dressed up in your Louis dress or bright here. No! At the same time, you need to learn balance, because if you come up with that whole bossiness and all that, trust me, in less than 2-3 months, they would frustrate you at that office.
Okay, so Mommy, I like this fact that you just stated, is because I feel people need to start understanding the place of emotional intelligence, just like you mentioned, finding the balance and finding a way to walk through competition and leadership. Leadership, people don't know, is one thing that has to do with servanthood as well. So I wanted to speak to that in 1 minute, because the time is not our friend. Where people need to draw the line between leadership, emotional intelligence, and servanthood, and balancing, basically, in terms of communicating.
In communication. In life, it's all about balance. In life, it's all about using wisdom. In life, it's all about who you are. Use your voice right. Being a leader, you also need your staff. They said the head cannot function without the neck. Neither can the body function without the head. So we all need each other. Because you are the leader or you're the boss at that moment doesn't necessarily mean that you have to be Dracula. So all you need to do at that moment is find balance. If you make your workplace too hard, too toxic for your staff, they will come back with that same energy. But the moment you try to, in as much as I'm not saying be too friendly, I'm not saying be too hard, but just find the balance. That's just what leadership is all about.
Okay. Thank you so much, Amon.
Thank you very much
to have you on our show. And that brings us to the close of today's empowering episode of Women's World. We've explored two vital areas: the incredible contribution of women's farmers in driving Nigerian agriculture potential, and the powerful role of communication in amplifying women's voices and advancing gender equality. A very huge thank you to our Limota, Guruso Giwa, and Omoumi Dan Okai for sharing their expertise, experience, and practical insights. Your perspective have highlighted the importance of support, recognition, and strategic communication in ensuring women's contribution are valued and celebrated.
Well, from addressing challenges in agriculture to leveraging communication for advocacy, today's conversations have shown that empowering women is not just an initiative, it is essential for economic growth, social progress, and sustainable development across Nigeria.
We hope our viewers feel inspired to take action, support women in agriculture, amplify their voices, and continue to work of promoting equality and opportunities in every sector. Thank you all for joining us. Thank you very much, Anita Patrick and Priscilla Albasi.
And to our beautiful guests, it was been amazing. Thank you. And we look forward to more engagement.
Oh, yeah. I said it's good to be home.
So we're bringing you back into the fold. Thank you so much.
All right, to stay connected, kindly follow us on all our social media platforms using @Global TV NG. Till we come your way again, we say bye-bye.
Bye.